All right, ladies, welcome back, Listing Queens. We are here with another VIP speaker, another one of our few males that has much value for you, Scott Sillari, CEO of RealSynch. How are you, Scott?
I'm doing fantastic, Jan. Thank you so much for having me. And yeah, I'm excited to be here and hopefully provide any value I can to help your listing queens get more listings, right? That's the point
right
here. Yeah.
That's exactly right. All right. So, Scott, first of all, let's just start. You did a live the other day and I liked it. Mindset about technology. So I'm just going to lay it out here. Women, a lot of times, run by the seat of their pants, even if they have a big, I don't want to say big team, even if they have a team of 2 or 3 agents and they're always go, go, go. So can you talk to us about how we should be thinking about technology?
Yeah, I think, to start with the problem is that what you mentioned is it becomes this thing where, and we're all like this, where what you don't know or what you don't understand becomes too big of a burden. And it's easier just to stick to the things that you know the best, because you know that you can take action and get something done doing it a certain way, right? So I think when you step back and think about technology, you have to think about, well, how can I automate a manual process? I think that's the first place to start thinking about it. How can I prevent myself from having to take data or manual data entry from over here and do it over here? That's the first thing to start thinking about. So when I've worked with, I'll even name, her name's Misty. She's an amazing client of mine. And we've been working together for a long time. She's one of the, I think she was just in the newsletter we sent out. But for her, when I talked to her about it after the fact, her big aha was like, she starts thinking about her business differently, because she thinks about, how can I leverage automation or integration to make my business more efficient? And then in turn, that results in more conversion, because it's allowing data to flow seamlessly and processes that happen seamlessly within your business. Right?
Yes. Oh, I love that. And I did see your interview with her. She has a team. Let's see, the importance of embracing tech automation. So the future is really AI, chat GPT, all this stuff.
Yeah.
So it's not a matter of, like you said, most people are like, let me just keep doing it the way I'm doing it. So talk to us about what you see as an expert in the industry about the importance of embracing tech.
Yeah, I think it starts, Jan, with like, we're talking about all these things speeding up, but it starts from you as a business owner to slow down and go, you know what, I'm going to actually spend some time educating myself and learning about some of the systems that I'm using, because a lot of us just grab systems and use them very much on the surface level to fulfill the basic need of what we're trying to do with our business. Even a CRM, for instance, is, you're using it at a basic level of just having your contact in there, maybe making notes. And there's so much that you can maximize with that particular system. So I'd say, like, it starts with just slowing down, learn the systems that you have. And then once you've become an expert with the systems that you have, then it's gonna put you in a mindset to go, well, now that I know what I have and what our automations are working and how the data is flowing and how I'm going from generating a lead all the way to closing that lead and then nurturing that lead for the next 7 to 10 years until they repeat. After I have that in place, now I can step back and realize what holes I'm missing in my business or in my tech stack, that I can then go search for other technologies, right? But I think it really starts with what you're using.
I love it. Okay. So you said slow down and then think about your gaps, and then what you're doing manually, what you could automate. So do you have stats or expertise from your clients in what they're able to accomplish when they actually do automate and slow down?
Yeah.
What is the beauty at the end? What is the result?
Yeah. So I'll give you an example. One of the integrations we built was called VoicePad, which is a sign call solution, like a texting solution when you see a sign, or it could be like different marketing pieces at different phone numbers, so you know where the leads are generating. Well, what was happening is all these people were calling in the VoicePad, but there was no integration into the client's CRM. So we built the integration, And what he found was that his conversion and return went up by like 300%. And so why that did was he realized that his agents would go in and call the lead in VoicePad one time. And if they didn't get a hold of the lead, it just sat there in VoicePad and wasn't getting called again. It wasn't getting an action plan or a campaign. It wasn't getting the marketing. So when we initiated the integration, it pushed the lead in. There's more people in the CRM making the phone calls, following up with the lead. It's a new lead. It's getting all the automation and the emails and the text and everything else. And the conversion went through the roof. So that's just one example right there.
I love that. And that could not be done manually, period.
No.
Right? A human being can't do that. So
no, I mean, we have errors. We're not flawless people. Like, we're humans. We have behaviors that like are almost impossible to change sometimes. So instead of trying to change a real estate agent's or your own behavior, which is very difficult to do, right? You have to do something for 90 days every day to change behavior. Just enable some integration or automation. Let the machines, do the work for you.
And I love that that it's repeating with delight, because that integration or automation or that handoff from that text thing from a sign into somebody's CRM facilitates repeating with delight. And the American Marketing Association says that because of, since COVID, that a human being's attention span is even less than that of a fish. Okay. It used to be equal to a fish. Now it's less. Okay. So the fact it's terrible. But the world's so chaotic and busy that to the extent that we want to always take advantage of that, which will help us repeat and be top of mind, because when somebody's thinking about moving, they're going to call one of the two people that they've last seen in that vein. Okay. So
to speak to that, we're all fighting for attention, right? So that's the top of mind awareness is what you're talking about, and branding yourself and all that. Anyway, we can talk more about that too if you want.
No, go ahead.
Well, I think the biggest thing too is, like, we talk about all this technology, and look, I run a technology company, I get it, but the reality is, like, your business is your top 100 or 500 people you have in your database. So what are you doing right now to be in front of them? Now more than ever, you should be finding reasons to call those people and have conversations, because that's where your listings are going to come from, right? Not buying some leads that are, online and hoping that at some point, because those, you got to remember, online leads aren't ready. Most of the time, they're not ready to do something within a year to 3 years, right? Like, that's like the average, right? So most leads you're buying aren't ready to do something right now. So the business is in your database. It's in your CRM. What are you doing to stay in touch with them, to stay in front of them, to brand yourself, to add value, educate them, invite them to events, do videos, whatever you're doing to stay in front of them so that you are top of mind when they're ready to buy or sell, right?
I'm so glad you said that, because the CRM is money, right? So I call it the data bank versus the database. It's a data bank. Okay. So what you said with that one woman, Misty, I think you said, was that you helped her team close 404 deals in 2021. Okay.
Yeah.
And you helped up-level the client experience that they were able to deliver. And I am always talking to my clients about your success is based on how excited you are about the client experience that you get to invite your clients into. Okay. Because then you're not salesy. You're like, hey, come on, get into my client experience. So talk to me about what that looked like in terms of how did your integration help up-level their client experience?
I love that. I love this question. It's great. I'm glad you brought it up. So your agent, if you're an agent, whether you're independent by yourself or whether you have agents on your team, like, the last thing you want to be doing is being pulled a million different directions, wearing 10 different hats in your business, because that prevents you from doing what you'd love to do the most, which is engaging with your clients being in front of them and helping them buy or sell property. That's what you're supposed to be doing as an agent. And if you have all these other things you have to do, well, that's going to create a problem. It's going to pull away from that time that you can do that, right? So what I help Misty and your team do is add in all this automation and integration to create these efficiencies, to buy their time back, basically, as an agent, to where they're spending more time on the phone in conversations. Follow-up is, follow-up's where the money is, right? Spending more time doing what they should be doing, which is just talking to people in their community, buyers and potential sellers, rather than getting stuck in some system that they don't know how to use, and they're wasting all this time trying to figure it out and move data back and forth or do these different processes, which is what they shouldn't be doing, right? So that's what we did for Misty. That's what we were able to go and do, and connect all these different systems and make sure that everything was flowing and automated so that the agents wouldn't have to worry about it. And they got more time back in their day, which allowed them to do more business and convert more business, which allowed her to hit those numbers.
Okay,
Right.
that's amazing, because your client experience, you will have more time to pour into them throughout the buying or selling process, because you have time. Like he said, you buy your time back with automation. And
Absolutely.
and it is exponential. It's an exponential return on investment. So I love that.
Mhm.
When you think about the efficiency versus the workarounds, and you had mentioned with another client that I saw, or maybe a live, that you help your clients prioritize. And because of your expertise, that you are like, you understand our business and you're able to help us see our business in a different way. And that includes helping us prioritize. So what would you say are priorities with respect to integration, and really with the agents, what they should be spending their time on, and what is priority?
Yeah. So it starts with the top of the funnel things, right? So if you're having to manually take lead data and like enter into your CRM, like that's the first place I look, right? And that's the first place I mentioned when I'm on all my tech consults is like, are you getting leads into an email inbox? And then you have to copy that lead into the CRM. Like we can easily set up a mail parser to solve that problem. So it automates into your system, and then you can set up automation rules. If it's a particular type of lead source, you kick off a welcome campaign or email campaign with getting them to log in, do a home search or whatever, right?
Yeah.
So like that's the first place you start, is like get that process set up so you don't have to worry about leads not getting into your system, right? And so yeah, I kind of got lost from your question.
Wait,
Sorry.
let me jump in here, because I want to make sure the ladies get this, because this is really good. So basically, let the technology to the technology expert. You create the email. I call it a communication sequence, because I think we should be able to send an email and a text, and maybe email, text, email, text, email, text. Because we know our clients, so we know the experience we want to give them.
Yeah.
So that's where we need to focus. Where we get screwed up is we're trying to figure out how to make it work, but that's not our area of expertise. We're good with people, right?
Yeah.
And so to leave that with you, we tell you what we need, and then you integrate it. One of the things that one of your other I saw you talk on a live about is, and why I wanted you here too, is because we grab a service here. Oh, I have this CRM, but then I have this lead source, and then I have this, and now I've got things that are fundamentally could be good, but I'm not getting my return because one doesn't talk to the other. And so we're able to allow us to be more seamless in our decision making at a much higher level. And so we are coming into what I call stepping into our CEO agent lifestyle, which is making great money, helping great clients while enjoying a great life. So that's where I just want, and it's a calm CEO approach.
Yeah. So to what you're talking about, I think what I mentioned was like, you can get all these great systems, but if they're off on these islands and they're storing, you have your data's siloed in all these different places, and it's not talking to each other specifically to your CRM, it's not worth it, right? So the question you need to be asking when you're adding any tech into your tech stack or adding this system into what you're going to be using every day and asking your agents or administrators to use, does it have an open API? Am I able to get data out and put data in of this system? Don't add this system to your tech stack if it doesn't have that available or if it's not coming very, very soon.
Okay, so I have a question.
Yeah.
Okay, because I want to make sure everybody gets it because it's so important. What is an API? What do you mean by open API?
Yeah, so it's
open integration?
Yeah, it's basically I mean, it's a term, right? Automate process. What's the
Integration?
Yeah, I don't know. Doesn't matter. The point is interface. So
Yeah,
it's automated process interface. Okay. So basically what it is as you use the system as a user, that data is reflected externally for someone like me to come and grab, right? So there's only like two different types of integrations. There's a direct integration, which you don't really know is even happening. So for a good example is when you put in your credit card into like Apple Pay and then it's available when you're buying some product online, right? Like that's integrated, right? It's just seamless. You don't have to do anything. So there's direct integrations, and then there's integrations through companies that are third parties like us, like RealSynch, right? Where we go and grab this system and make the Spanish and French speak to each other, right? And we morph the data into a common model. So that's what we do. The reality is with that is if that's not available with these systems, then you're just stuck. Like you need to have they need to have an API where that data and everything that you're doing and taking action in with that system is reflected externally for someone like us to grab.
So my next question is, I would like to start at an agent who is making $75,000 a year. What technology does she need? And then as she wants to go to $250,000 a year, maybe with 1 or 2 team members, what does she need there? And then when she wants to maybe step back and maybe put in a sales manager or someone who is actually being there to day, and now she has maybe her own brokerage or a team of 10 to 20 plus. Can you talk to us about how technology needs grow in each of those 3 scenarios by chance?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it starts with the CRM, right? So like, there's a lot of different CRMs within the real estate space that you can use. Some have IDXs, like, website IDXs as part of them. Some are just a customer management system. That's all you need initially, right? A way to generate leads, but a way to manage your leads so you can follow up and you can have all your data, all the contact info all in one place. I'd say you should have some sort of, if you're using G Suite or Microsoft, some sort of integration into that CRM with your phone, basically getting leads out of your phone into the CRM. Okay. And then you're going to need some sort of solution to create documents, whether it's DocuSign or Dotloop or SkySlope, or using maybe like a Lone Wolf type product. They have a big suite of different solutions, but you're going to need something there, right? That's kind of where you start, I think, right? And then as you expand, then you start going, all right, I have a bunch of agents. I need to have a phone system for them. So maybe you have some sort of phone call solution that has the different numbers, like I mentioned, with the marketing. And, then maybe as you're growing, you want some sort of direct mail, right? Audience is a company that we work with. This is fantastic. You may need an additional email marketing solution like MailChimp or MyEmma as you're growing, right? Where you're sending out newsletters and video emails. And then eventually, maybe as you get to like 5 to 10 agents, you want to start having some KPIs and using a company like Sisu, where you can start tracking your agent activities, making sure they're doing everything, you're managing them, right? And makes it easier to bring in a sales manager at that point, say, hey, look at all this stuff I have in place. I need you to run it now, right?
Right.
But all along you're generating leads, you're going to have some online lead generation too, right? Buying leads one way or another.
Right. I'm sorry. I just want to say, because I want to make sure KPI is your key performance indicators.
Yes.
Okay. So yes, because ladies, what I want you to know is available to you is that you can sell your team. Like I sold my team when I pivoted to full-time coaching, and I got multiple six figures for my team. Why? Because I had a database, I had a system that I handed to the lady who bought my team. And so, right.
There's ROI there, it's value, right?
Right.
But you have to have all these things in place, right? And that's what I say, like all these things I was talking about that you want to be adding as you grow, it's because you have the other things in place already, though. You've already built this foundation of how you automate within your CRM, how you convert business. You know, I just did an interview with Barry Jenkins, who works at a Fall Out Boss, but like he's got all these different, like his database is 500,000 people. He doesn't pay for online leads. He just tracks all these people and moves them into different ponds based on their engagement on his website and using YLOPO, which is his, online lead IDX like website, right? And does some chat stuff and whatnot. But like all of it keeps just rotating through because eventually there's going to be people that are ready in your database. So you have to have that part set up. You don't need to have 8 million different ways to generate online leads. You just need it starts with the foundation of your CRM.
That's right. Oh, I love that. I love that. And so, yeah. And what was my other thought? Okay. So you mentioned getting your contacts out of your phone.
Yes.
Your CRM. And this, I always said to my agents, this is money.
Yeah.
When you're scratching your head, you don't know what to do. Can you please get your freaking contacts open? So you have a one-click solution for that.
Yeah, we have a Google Contacts integration with I think 4 or 5 of the major CRMs in real estate. We're going to be expanding it, of course, as well. But the idea is first name, last name, email, and a phone number. You probably have. You add it as a contact in your phone. If you're using Gmail, I guarantee you did it by accident. You connected your Gmail to your phone and you set it up, and it should shoot right into your CRM then.
Oh,
right?
That's awesome. That
so
is awesome.
Phone to CRM. And then you can, again, if you know how to use your CRM, you can set up automation rules. The lead source, let's say, comes through, I think, as Google or Google Contacts, maybe when it comes in from your phone. So then you have an automation set up with a welcome email. The number one email that is opened is a welcome email from when you just communicated with the person. If you have to wait a day because you're manually doing all this stuff, you put their name in your phone, you forgot to add them in the CRM, you add them 2 days later, you go to send them something, they forgot about you already.
Yeah.
It has to be instantaneous. You just had a conversation with someone at an open house or in a restaurant or wherever, because you're out and about, you put them in your phone, they need to get a welcome email while you're still talking to them.
That's awesome.
They go, oh, I just got your email. Cool. And it has all your information, your bio, whatever you want to send, right? But like that's going to be the email when they search in their Gmail for your name. It's going to be the first email that comes back up to the top because it's the welcome email. And so that's the one they're going to see.
That's awesome. Thank you so much for that. So
Yeah.
Speed to lead is speed to the email, right? Because I remember when I had my team, I would always say speed to lead, whoever gets there first. And who's it going to be? It's going to be us.
Yeah.
And so what do you think is, like, I don't know, like, I know that you're passionate about your product. You're passionate about helping agents grow and have capacity, right? And so what is your, like, what can these women expect when they start slowing down and then making these intelligent decisions where they fill the gaps, and so they make these things seamless? Can they expect to work? I don't know if you've ever done this, so we didn't talk about this before, but like, are they going to save 20%? Are they going to, like, I just don't know if you have any stats or anything that you could share, because I really want our women to know that this is nothing to be afraid of. This is something that you slow down and start slow, and you're going to be, and when you start seeing the results, ladies, then you're going to want more. That's what I mean.
It's like a bell curve in a sense, right? So like it starts by maybe buying you 5 hours a week, and then 10, and then eventually you're just a CEO and you've scaled your business to a point where you're not, necessarily doing transactions anymore. You're just overseeing and you're managing people, right? And you're helping others make the life that they want to live. So, but also it goes back to like, what's going to fulfill you, right? Like, what do you want out of your business? Some people want to run a big team. Some people want to just have a smaller, tight knit team. And it's, at the end of the day, you got to be profitable no matter what type of business you're running, right? But it goes back to what's going to feel the biggest thing is you're going to get to choose what you do with your time. You're not held down to having to do certain activities every single day because that's the way that your business is functioning. When you step back and start adding these things in and then slowly adding the pieces almost like a chess game, you're buying back your time to do more on the business type activities to build the business rather than being the person that's just running the business, right? You're not an employee in your business anymore. You're the actual business owner running the business. And so what type of time are you spending? Are you just the high level salesperson on your team, or are you actually the business owner? And so that's what's going to adjust as well and how you use that time.
So I hear freedom, and I hear this allows them to be, when they embrace technology, it enables them to be proactive and stop the reactivity, which is causing them spin out, overwhelm, burnout, and all of that.
Totally. So, and look, I know so many different business owners, and some love to be in production. They've leveled themselves to the point where they were running the business proactively and decided, you know what, it fulfills me to work with people still. I want to be in production. And they hire all the other positions around them to run the business, right? Yeah. So you have to go through that process to get to that level to then understand what's going to fulfill you within the business that you own,
Oh, I love that. Scott, I love that. Thank you so much. Ladies, please embrace technology. And Scott, how can people find you and your awesome service, RealSynch?
So Scott at realsynch.com, and that's RealSynch.com. And it's just realsynch.com. But yeah, just reach out to me directly via email. It's the best way. I would be happy to talk to anybody about their technology. I'm here to help any business owners. What I love, that's what fulfills me. It's my passion. And I happen to run a technology company, but it's more about how I can help you in your business and advise you in anything that you're doing. I'm happy to do it and connect you to the right people to make sure that you're moving in the right direction. So awesome. Thank you, Jan, so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Scott. And you have a business Facebook page where I've been seeing your videos. So is that called RealSynch?
Yeah, it's just RealSynch on Facebook as well. Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much, Scott.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Right. Thank you.